offspring. And unless that happens, then boom, they're cheap. So kids are cheap. And they truly are a blessing. I have nothing bad to say about being a father. I recommend everyone at home do it. If you find a woman worth having, then have a kid with her. Why not? Why not? Get to it, Fresh. What else are you going to do? Yeah, you know what's kind of weird?
Yeah.
How do I say this? I just kind of feel like just fucking all this pussy for the sake of fucking it is just gay.
You know what's crazy?
Is that weird?
No, it's not.
Because they're girls and you're a guy.
Yeah.
But it's just gay. There's something gay about, I'm going to fuck this pussy, then I'm going to fuck that pussy, then I'm going to fuck that pussy. And it's like, okay, cool. And I'm not saying you have to have kids with all of them. But you should at least give God the chance to give you a child. And it probably won't happen most of the time. But when it does happen, it's a blessing from God. And I personally, as a man now, won't have sex with a girl if there's no chance of having a kid. What's the point?
It's funny because even now, dealing with girls, unless it's going somewhere, I don't want to even entertain them.
Okay, but where's it going?
Well, it was fun at first.
Okay, but exactly. So you get past all that, and then it has to go somewhere. Where is it going besides children? Where does it end?
It's pointless.
Exactly. It's
but hold on, Myron, when you have your kids, bro?
I still like smashing hoes, man. Be honest with you.
Okay. Maybe I'm old and boring. I don't know.
You know, I have my main girl. She's great. You know, she's doing her homework.
You can't make this shit up. You really can't. Did Andrew Tate just call Fresh and Fit gay to their faces and they didn't do nothing? Yes. Yes, he did. He really, really did. All right. If you don't know, guys, who Fresh and Fit is, Fresh and Fit, real names Myron and Walt, is a red pill dating podcast that teaches men through the red pill lens how to attract women. One of the tenets of the red pill ideology, yes, I said it. It's an ideology, not a praxeology. And yes, I know the difference. All right. When you start telling men to sleep with 50 women, it ceases to be a praxeology, which is something you observe, and becomes a belief, an ideal, an ideology. Anyways, like I was saying, one of the tenets of the red pill is that a man must gain sexual experience, aka be promiscuous, in order for women to find him attractive. In other words, a man must sleep around because women find men with sexual experience attractive. They believe in this so much that Fresh and Fit, Myron in particular, by the way, recommends that a man should sleep with 50 women in order to understand female nature. Whatever that means. This is all bullshit, by the way, of course. Now, why is this bullshit? Because every study we have on promiscuity proves that promiscuity is bad, not good for men and women, biologically and socially speaking. We know since the legalization of abortion, the pill, and the push to normalize sexual promiscuity in society through the sex revolution in the 1970s, we know since then that marriages have and continue to decline. We know that the average relationship today lasts less than 3 years. We know that the birth rate has declined below the replacement rate. We know that since men and women have become more promiscuous, men and women are no longer creating nuclear families and no longer staying together for a significant period of time. And this is what I believe, to be honest with you guys. This is what I believe Andrew Tate is inadvertently trying to say. This is why I believe Andrew is calling men who pursue promiscuity instead of family gay. All right? As you guys know, Andrew, I'm sure everyone knows by now, but as you guys know, Andrew is revered in the red pill space as the epitome of masculinity. Listen, Fresh and Fit absolutely adore this guy. Andrew's like a god to these guys. For Andrew Tate to call what they preach and advocate for in their own channel gay, and Myron and Fresh do nothing and say nothing, says a lot about what Fresh and Fit think of their own ideology and why this red pill ideology, guys, is bad for men. Now, let's deal with the main question, all right? Okay. Is promiscuity gay? I'm not going to pretend to know what was in Andrew Tate's mind because I don't know, all right? I'm not Andrew Tate. But here's what I think he meant. Since the main purpose of sex is to reproduce, and you're not reproducing because you are more focused on sleeping with different women, then what's the difference between you and a homosexual relationship which does not produce children? Exactly, none. And when you think about it, Andrew Tate is right. It's gay. Because homosexual relationships don't lead to reproduction. Now, the reproduction argument is one way of looking at it. But I think we can go deeper. What about hatred for women? Could men who insist in living a promiscuous life be gay because they hate women? To answer this question, we first have to find out if men that pursue women to simply sleep with them like women or don't like women. Knowing that promiscuity affects women negatively. Example, I'm going to give you a few examples. And you guys should know this by now. Okay, promiscuity affects women negatively, all right? Here's some examples. It lowers their chances of getting married in the future, increases the chances of trauma, makes them less desirable in the eyes of men for long-term relationship. Now get this. Knowing that protecting and providing, aka marriage, is the highest form of love a man can show a woman, I think it's safe to say that promiscuous men don't like women. I would go as far as saying they hate women. Why? Well, because they're literally helping to ruin a woman's future. People often say, it's just sex. They just like having sex. If it was just purely about sex, guys, these promiscuous men could easily just get a wife and have access to as much sex as they want. So it can't just be about sexual pleasure. All right? They can get a wife. They can get married quickly and they will have access to sex. All right? So now that we've established that men who seek women purely for sex purposes hate women, the question now becomes, is it gay to hate women? And when you think about it, yes, it is. Before you disagree, just hear me out, all right? These promiscuous men are not interested in protecting, providing, and having children with women, which is a man's biological role. They just want to use her and ruin her. All right? Don't forget, when you use a woman, you literally ruin her chances of being protected and provided for in the future. So when you take into consideration the fact that these men just want to use and ruin a woman's future and don't want to procreate with them, which is their role as a man, I think it's, if not gay, it's at least a pathway to being gay. How can you work towards destroying the gender that allows the human race to continue? And by the way, guys, the same, by the way, also applies to women. Women who use men for money and attention tend, I don't know if you guys know this, but they tend to usually hate men and be feminists. It's not a coincidence, guys. All right? Okay, listen, guys. Hope you enjoyed this reaction. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time. All right? Peace.